Did Anthony Joshua get in a car in Nigeria today because he failed to follow the script? Now look, I know not everything's a conspiracy theory. At the very least, we gotta take like a way closer look at everything that's going on. Who lost? Who lost big on the Jake Paul fight? That's a good question to start with. So having said all that, a lot of people right after the fight were talking about Jake Paul's tongue and the weird tongue movements he was making at Anthony right before the knockout. And there was some speculation that maybe that was a sign. Maybe that was Jake Paul being like, yo, bro, chill. You're going too hard on your boy. And then that would explain why Jake Paul looked like confused and scared in this shot, because he's literally going, this ain't on script anymore, and he's about to knock. And what a beautiful moment it was. Are these accusations baseless? No, because it's pretty obvious that Mike Tyson fight was scripted. I mean, there were multiple moments in that fight where Mike Tyson was clearly pulling his punches, holding back. And let's not forget about the whole humiliation ritual with chaps that Mike Tyson was wearing that was on TV. Like, that was just weird. And the fact that overall Jake Paul does seem like a perfect little Mason plant. Just a Ohio boy, you know, I don't know. The Anthony Joshua, is a very, very interesting coincidence. Now go, don't ask questions.
Anthony Joshua in Lagos, Nigeria should act as a reminder for Africans in the diaspora to stop fantasizing about Africa. What you saw in that video where you had an accident, people got brains crushed out there lying on the road, and there is no paramedics, no emergency support, that is the reality of what most people have to live by. Majority of Africa is like that. Someone got an accident and people are just praying for him, telling him he's not going to die. And there is nobody there seriously to help. These are, for the most part, dysfunctional countries. And this is the reality of it. That's why your parents left a long time ago and tried to create a life elsewhere where you are now based. So if you're gonna go to Africa during December,
yeah, you know I'm about to roll. Please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure it's about to go up. Let's get high, yeah, you know I'm about to roll up. Please, yeah, you know I gotta pull. Let's live life, yeah, once I'm about to turn up. Get fly, oh, for sure it's about to go up. Roll my blunt and pass my lighter. Lit pop shit, get higher. I'm the hottest, call me fire. Rock out, jump up, live my life up.
Family, we are back. Hey y'all, thank you so much for being here. It does mean a lot. Your engagement, just coming back. Thank you guys. Listen, this situation, y'all, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I called this thing as being quote unquote different, or maybe even allegedly manipulated. I called that from the jump as soon as I seen the highlights, but I didn't think that this type of thing would happen and we would be where we are right now. And with that being said, check on your people, y'all. It's okay to love people. It's okay to be vulnerable. Just don't be a fool. The preview we just seen, this is via Hassan Campbell. Shout out to bro. The dude at the beginning was my main motivation for doing the video, and also I wanted to get Hassan Campbell's point of view. But I wanted to get somebody's opinion of a different hue just to see how other people thought about this situation. And he introduced two things that just blew my mind: the Mike Tyson situation, and then the bets. Imagine just the people that didn't go to the sites. Imagine knowing something, placing that bet on that, or allegedly knowing something, shall I say, placing a bet on that, and somebody doesn't stick to the script. Now, if that was the case, do y'all think Joshua would have been informed? I don't know. But dude also spoke on the Mike Tyson thing. The Mike Tyson thing. I often say it's a shame that we don't let our greats go great. And this Mike Tyson thing is a prime example. I've been watching this man do his thing since I was about 5 years old that I can remember. And this is back when they had the big, huge TVs with the big backs. They were taller than the adults. And oh my God, just a big old, big screen TVs. You had to be somebody if you had one of these TVs. Trust me. But anyways, Mike Tyson, his matches would go 1 to 2 rounds tops. Please believe me. But out of all the decades we've seen this man box, never have we seen what we saw when we watched him fight Jake Paul. And what's so crazy about that situation, it was just there. It was there. Cheeks out for all of these people to see. Are you having to give something for these opportunities and these chances to make so much money? Y'all get what I'm saying. And I'm not saying like, well, y'all get what I'm saying. If you know, you know. But I just want to run this clip back real quick. Real quick. Sorry for ranting. Let's go.
Joshua get in a car accident in Nigeria today because he failed to follow the script. Now look, I know not everything's a conspiracy theory. At the very least, we gotta take like a way closer look at everything that's going on. Who lost? Who lost big on the Jake Paul fight? That's a good question to start with. So having said all that, a lot of people right after the fight were talking about Jake Paul's tongue and the weird tongue movements he was making at Anthony right before the knockout. And there was some speculation that maybe that was a sign. Maybe that was Jake Paul being like, yo bro, chill. You're going too hard on your boy. And then that would explain why Jake Paul looked like confused and scared in this shot, because he's literally going, this ain't on script anymore, and he's about to knock. And what a beautiful moment it was. Are these accusations baseless? No, because it's pretty obvious that Mike Tyson fight was scripted. I mean, there were multiple moments in that fight where Mike Tyson was clearly pulling his punches, holding back. And let's not forget about the whole humiliation ritual with the assless chaps that Mike Tyson was wearing that was on TV. Like, that was just weird. And the fact that overall Jake Paul does seem like a perfect little Mason plant. Just a Ohio boy, you know, I don't know. The Anthony Joshua crash today, though, is a very, very interesting coincidence.
Now, back to the Mike Tyson thing. Pause. If my cousin heard that, oh my goodness. But back to that whole thing, y'all. I gotta ask again, when have we ever seen anything like that? When have we ever had the access? Now, I get it. These guys are streamers and this and that, but in the locker rooms, why didn't the cameraman turn the camera? Let's start there. Was all of that scripted? Listen, I'm a videographer. If I'm filming these two premier athletes, well, one premier athlete and just this other dude, and I see the premier, if I see anybody cheeks out, I'm turning the camera. But was it a thing to where it was like, hey, we got an opportunity for you. We know you're itching to fight, but we could place a lot of money in your pocket if you take this fight. Now, we got to lock the viewership in. We need something of shock value, Mike. How about, all right, this would be great. How about this? How about you go cheeks out? It'll be just a small cut like it was an act. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that happened, but it wouldn't be far-fetched once again, the people watching, the amount of people watching, that was less than professional as a videographer, period. Now, this next clip, I'm not gonna make you listen to the clip with the dude in the car, but it sounds like he has some culture about him and he knows about what he's talking about. He said if they would have waited 30 more minutes, other things could have happened that had happened already. But if you paid attention, we haven't seen any. Well, that fresh footage, it was nobody there. And what he was saying was that you're that far from civilization. What was it that y'all think really happened? Some people are speaking about a tire blowing. Some people are saying that he was just trying to dodge or do this. But what driver doesn't look 2 miles down the road? That's what you learn. One of the first things you learn in driver school. I can't go with that narrative. And there was a video where a dude said, man, it's the same old thing. A car, a bathtub, oh, y'all, yeah. Let's get to the next clip, though.
Now, with that being said, it's crazy how a car accident turned into a conspiracy. Scooby-Dooby-Doo? It's funny how a car accident turned into a conspiracy. Now, normally, I'm the conspiracy theorist, and everybody else is calling me out for it. Like, for example, when I spoke about how The Door and Gilly and Wallow getting that $100 million check, and it led to Gilly's son getting his TV chunked off.
That's another situation that didn't sit right with me, but I didn't want to speak on it. But the timing, and one thing that I've learned, and y'all will hear this a lot, and if you've been here, you know, they take you out how you live in a lot of scenarios. So he had a lot of stuff going on in Philly. The people he was with had a lot of stuff going on in Philly, and I chose not to do it. But it was right after that, after those two got that deal. Who just signed a $200 million deal? Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
When you sign contracts with evil, you sign contracts with Satan. And there's a door, and behind that door is evil. It's like watching the movie Final Destination. But at the same time, we also have things called technology, right? Smart cars, smart devices. You got things that can detonate. Make a long story short, that car crashed into a car that was parked, which means something on that car malfunctioned to make it crash. In past contracts, it was in the contract that Jake Paul was not to lose and he was not to get hit. I think somewhere down the line, with all the shucking and jiving that Jake Paul did, I think Anthony Joshua decided, I'm going to teach this boy a lesson.
I'm going to keep it real, y'all. I felt uncomfortable watching them people walk to that truck with them chauffeurs there. Who in their right mind is gonna win however much he won, and have that type of Lexus just waiting for him? Let's start there. Who? Now, if you're going to this country, yes, you're from there, I get it, but you are who you are, and what happened just happened. And all these people seen you. Why wouldn't you move with more of a convoy? But why wouldn't you move with better vehicles? Now, I'm not gonna say that there was a device involved or anything like that, but I'm not gonna rule it out. It could be something faulty with I don't know. I'm not gonna rule it out though. This next clip, Hassan is gonna break down the monetary, the monetary background, well, not background, but the monetary value of this moment and how it could have backfired. Now, I want to say this. When they're doing these events, they have to understand that they are dealing with animals. These dudes go into something different when they fight. Mike Tyson taps in every once in a while when he's not in the ring, you can tell, but they got a killer instinct about them, and it's because they are fighters. You can't ask these dudes to get in the ring, do what they do, get in that mode, and take it easy. Joshua messed up when he spoke about my hands were cuffed, but I don't want to say anything that's going to affect me later. Anyways, let's get to this next clip.
Why would people be pissed off that Jake Paul lost a rigged fight? Why would people be pissed off that Jake Paul lost a rigged fight that was unrigged? Because there's gambling that goes on in these fights. Yes, there's gambling. Remember, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he bet his money on Jake Paul. Boy, boy, did he lose. We are living in a world that we have to question, was a car accident really an accident? Or was this car accident similar to car accidents like Princess Diana?
We are definitely going to end it right there. Something to think about, y'all. Something to think about. And I am very interested in different POVs about this situation. Different shades of color, even male, female. I'm interested to hear what people really think about this. Coincidence? Like the video, comment, subscribe. Thanks for being here, you guys. I'm out. Peace.